Right. Any inspiring stories or moving stories you want to share, particularly of some kids
Oh,
and
I mean,
families?
those kids, they are like absolutely fabulous. I mean, for those of you listening to us who have been to poor communities, you're always amazed actually to see that they are often, I mean, they are happy and they are like, but there it's really, they are very inspiring. I mean, because, they are not exposed to the outside world. So, okay, they live in trash. Okay, they are in their own, difficulties, but also, they are, a very strong community, and the children particularly are not exposed to social media or TV or stuff like that. So they are very bright. They like to play a lot, and they are always like very excited about stuff.
Hi there, and welcome to Swiss Impact with Banerjis.
Come along on this eye-opening journey as we dive into sustainability and impact investing.
Here you'll meet inspiring individuals who are crafting a brighter future for all generations to come.
The potential for impact investment is boundless, and you can be absolutely sure we are part of this positive change.
Are you ready to dive in and make a difference? Let's take action for the benefit of both mankind and nature. Welcome, dear audience, to the 6th episode of Season 8. We've just returned from an incredible journey to Singapore and Bali. But today, we are dedicating our show to the invisible people of Bali.
And absolutely, Bali in particular captured our hearts. Rarely have we encountered such breathtaking beauty.
The abundance of nature and the warmth of the people truly make it a paradise for vegetarians and vegans alike.
And for everybody else, unfortunately, Bali is not without its challenges. Climate change has taken its toll, and the issue of plastic waste is particularly distressing.
Indeed, we witnessed the extent of plastic pollution on the beaches, gardens, rivers, and even in the rice fields. It was deeply troubling. So, next to it, we also faced extreme poverty of unprivileged communities with kids on the same paradise island of gods, Bali. And they are practically living in a trash. It's a strong reminder of the urgent need for action.
And amidst the darkness, however, there are glimmers of hope. Today, we are honored to welcome our guest who is working tirelessly to one of those bright stars.
So, welcome, Mickaël Couturier. Welcome today to Swiss Impact with Banerjis. We are so thrilled to have you with us. Hi, Mickaël. How are you?
Hello, very good. Thank you for having me.
Are you in Bali?
Yes, I'm in Bali, and yeah, I'm
You're
very
in
happy
Bali.
you could experience the island. Yeah.
Amazing. Mickaël, I will briefly introduce you to the audience, so for people who don't know you yet. So you are the award-winning artist and have been in the creative industry for over 25 years. You're a filmmaker, visual artist, photographer, writer, music composer, and poet. Your work has been widely recognized, and your films have been screened at over 100 festivals in 32 countries, including such festivals like Cannes and LA Short Fest. So now you have a flair for emotional stories that focus on environment, philanthropy, and spirituality. And that's why you dedicated the past 3 years to helping underprivileged communities of Bali, and most specifically the kids of the trash mountain of Suwon. So, with this, Mickaël, it's really a pleasure to have you with us on this show because, you know what? Let's not talk any longer. Let's just show your work in a short video so everyone understands what we're talking about. Wow, so it's so strong, and those smiles of kids who have nothing are really like angel smiles. It's amazing that you could capture that, and the work that you're doing, Michael, is so inspiring. Can you tell us the story behind that? So how did you actually came to that? How did you discover them? And how did Plastic Angels happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think it of course started with me arriving in Bali just before the pandemic. And I think, a lot of people, for those of you who had the chance to visit this beautiful island, we have this vision of the paradise island, the perfect place with the waterfalls, with the beautiful temples and the beaches and everything. And when the pandemic happened, I kind of got involved into charity stuff. And that's where I really discovered this hidden poverty in Bali. And I think it was very shocking because it's just so hidden. I mean, of course, there is poverty everywhere. We know that, but I think in Bali it's really very hidden. And I think it's a little bit like the trash problem as well. Is really something that is put on the side that is really not assessed. So I guess for me, when I discovered that, and most especially when I bumped into this community, because as you can see in those images, we are talking about trash pickers, and they are literally living in the middle of trash because this is a trash mountain. The size of it for Bali is absolutely insane. It is 35 hectares. It is a trash mountain that is 40-meter high. So when I saw that, I was absolutely in shock. But also, I was absolutely amazed by the beauty of those people, and especially the kids, like you saw there. So I felt a call to just first tell this story because I'm an artist and a storyteller and a filmmaker. So I started documenting their lives, and I fell in love with the kids. And then I was like, gosh, now I really want to do more than just tell the story. I really want to help them. So that's how it all started.
And what inspired you to focus on environmental issues and marginalized communities like these children in this slum?
Yeah, I mean, it's also like it's not the level of plastic pollution, especially, but pollution and waste treatment in Bali is absolutely out of hand. It's like literally. I mean, we are actually talking. Indonesia in general is the second biggest ocean polluter in the world. So that's a crazy fact. But I think there is such a crazy problem with education here. I give you, for example, a statistic that is very scary. There is about 80% of Indonesians that don't know that plastic don't go away. So they still believe that it's like in the old time where you could throw stuff in the river wrapped in banana leaves and that was okay, and I think it's the same thing with plastic. So for me, this level of shock of seeing this situation is like, we have to do something about it. And as I believe that storytelling is actually the strongest tool that we have to raise awareness and potentially to raise emotion and to get people to feel that, okay, now I cannot ignore that anymore. That's how this whole thing get me on this mission, basically.
Right. So can you tell us a bit more on your initiative and programs at Plastic Angels that you have undertaken to improve the lives of these little angels?
Yeah. So I think, because in those kind of work, you have to of course, focus on something. What I mean is like, I didn't embark on trying to sort the plastic pollution problem in Bali. I hope we will be able to do that soon, but that's not something we can do.
It's a long
now.
term, yeah, of course. So long term, it should be solved, right? But the short term, it's really now, they're living now on that.
Right. But what I saw that potentially I could do something about is those kids. And I thought, okay, I think I can really just get awareness around their situation, raise funds, and try to change their lives, right? Because we have to understand that we are dealing with actually children that not only live in the middle of trash, but also are malnourished. They don't eat every day. They don't drink water. They are exposed to contaminated soil, water, everything every single day.
And air was probably right to breathe. I mean, it's also not easy.
Yeah, they are very exposed to contamination and all of this. So I've been trying to think, okay, what are the different steps that we can take to help them? So what is the most urgent? The most urgent is first, we should make sure the children are not picking trash anymore on this trash mountain. So I've actually partnered with a foundation that has been here for several years, and they are actually making that possible. So the kids are not picking trash anymore. The second step is make sure they are eating correctly every day, right? So I partner with a soup kitchen that have been delivering meals every day. But then you have all of those other challenges because these are band-aids, right? You are putting things like to solve a direct emergency, but it's not solving the problem in the long run. So I've been thinking, how can we make sure that they have a choice later on not to have to, when they're adults, to work as trash pickers? And of course, this is education. It's all around education. So now we have established that the best way to do that was to be on site. So because they live in a slum at the foot of the trash mountain, right? Which is Bali's biggest slum, actually. So we decided to actually get a piece of land there to create a cultural center where we're going to be able to really take care of their education, but also we're going to create some gardens where we're going to teach them to grow their own food. We're going to have like some clean water there. So it's really going to be like the center of all of our activities.
Right. Any inspiring stories or moving stories you want to share, particularly of some kids?
Oh,
and
I mean, those kids, they are like absolutely fabulous. I mean, for those of you listening to us who have been to poor communities, you're always amazed actually to see that they're often, I mean, they are happy and they are like, but there it's really, they are very inspiring. I mean, because, they are not exposed to the outside world. So, okay, they live in trash. Okay, they are in their own, difficulties, but also they are, a very strong community. And the children particularly are not exposed to social media or TV or stuff like that. So they are very bright. They like to play a lot, and they are always like very excited about stuff. That's why it's amazing to be doing stuff with them. And, because... So I'm initially an artist, so I wanted very early on also to create art with them, because with storytelling, I believe this is one of also the strongest tool we have, art, right? To raise awareness and also to reach higher grounds for the human spirit. But those kids are absolutely amazing, and we are doing lots of really good things with them. We are creating artworks with plastic, actually. Which is
I've
also
seen
something.
one of the not paintings, the art pieces made out of flip-flops, which you collect as a trash, and then you cut it right, and then you put it as a nice painting. And that's up from far away. You wouldn't say, it's like really a piece of art.
Yeah, I mean, we've been experimenting with how can we integrate the plastic to create art, and the latest thing we are doing now is mosaics. So we're picking flip-flops on the beach, and we're actually organizing beach cleanups where we bring kids with us. And after we cut the flip-flops in little squares, and we do those mosaics. So we do different things. We've been doing portraits. Right now we're doing a new collection called Plastic Oceans. We're doing like turtles and fishes and lots of really cool stuff. And we're doing it with the kids, so it's really 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 cool. And this is a good way for us to also raise funds, because it's like Plastic Angels actually is not a charity in itself. We are more like a collective of artists, right? So for us, we are not really asking for donations, although of course we have get some at the beginning, but we're trying to have actually something to sell, right? Like, for example, these artworks are a great way to fundraise for the kids.
And emotional well-being and mental health are often overlooked all around the world, and especially in developing and underdeveloped countries. Could you discuss the psychological impact of living in such a heavily polluted environment like Subung, and how does Plastic Angels program address mental well-being of these children?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's always, of course, a very sensitive thing. So, like I mentioned before, because they are cut from the outside world, they're actually quite preserved mentally, but mostly at a younger age. So the group of children we are taking care of right now are between 4 to 12 years old. And most of them haven't been exposed too much, so they are not realizing their situation. But we are, of course, seeing a shift with teenagers. And very often, some of the teenagers start to get depressed, and some of them, start to have problems with their families because they kind of start to see, okay, other children from the normal world and see how they live, especially in a world where on Instagram everything seems so perfect, and then they realize, my God, actually I live in trash. So yeah, it's complicated issues, of course.
Right. And so you have these kids from both worlds program, right? Which sounds amazing. So can you explain how it works and the impact it has on bringing social gaps and fostering understanding of both sides?
Yeah, so I'm a true believer in education in whatever we do for the long run, right? So for me, I was really trying to find what is the best way to actually get the community in Bali, because we have lots of resources just in Bali already in itself, but so many people even here are not aware of this situation. So I just thought actually a great way to get awareness is to actually go and talk to the kids from the normal world. So I've been to every single kind of more privileged schools. You have quite a high-end schools, people looking for, alternate educations and stuff. And I went there, I showed my movies, I started doing art with them too. And I have to say, this is very encouraging because the kids have been reacting extremely positively. They've been very concerned. I think the children from the new generation are extremely sensitive about injustice. So when they discovered this injustice of children just like them, that actually live in these conditions, many of them have been wanting to actually take action. And for me, empowerment is a very, very important thing. And if we can empower the next generation, first to care, because that's the first step. So many people don't care. Right? And second, after to take action, then I think we might have a solution, or at least a bit of positive things coming, hopefully.
Today when I was preparing for this program also, so my 4-year-old came to me and I showed him the videos and he was like, and I told him, they are the kids who have nothing, who cannot eat any fruits like that or have toys from garbage. And the 4-year-old kid understands that's not okay, He was deeply touched by that and thinking, what can we do? So, how can we then adults be ignorant?
No, 100%. I'm very, very, very confident about that. And I think also what is very important is to we have to mix them, right? Because there is always those separations, and I think children are not like that. It's our education system that puts them into those separations. So, for example, we're starting doing those art programs, but also we are doing big beach cleanups. So we are getting kids from local communities, from the poor communities, and from the privileged communities all together. And we are doing games. So they are interacting with each other and they are creating something. They all know that it's actually to help, the kids from this poor community, but also to raise awareness for plastic. And they are all super happy about that. So it's really about empowerment and just getting all of those, different backgrounds all together. And I have this dream that many of them will become ambassadors of those schools.
That's so good. And how does Plastic Angels engage with the local and international artists to create this awareness?
Yeah, so the idea is we have been trying to create different collections. So the first collection was actually Plastic Angels, and we've been doing that with a collective of almost 20 artists. So we are talking about Balinese artists, Indonesian artists, European, American, a really big melting pot. Most of them actually based in Bali, but some of them international artists who travel. And we've been asking them. The first collection was about creating art with plastic picked from the beach, right? Of course, and the river, etc. But where we would integrate a child, right? As you will be able to see on some of the images, is the idea was really the children are the art, and I think the idea was we will make exhibitions, and we've made already several in quite big venues all around Bali. But we are hoping also to start having exhibitions and internationally, starting with Asia probably because we have lots of good spaces there, but why not after going further? And we are now launching a new collection called Plastic Oceans, which is more towards mixing environmental issues and poverty. But this is like a bit of a, because our first artworks were really large scales. Like, for example, we have those big sculptures made of recycled plastic. Some of them were up to 3.4 meter high, so now we're doing a bit smaller ones that'll be easier to sell, etc. But still always integrating element of plastic and a very strong story.
Yeah, I think if everyone on Bali would aware of that, then it can be solved locally already. And of course, because Bali is not the only island who is facing plastic pollution, then it's like example internationally, if we can solve waste management and poverty like that on Bali, we can just, implement it on other islands in the world as well. So it just the top of an iceberg on our planet, it's not the only case. I'm so sure, unfortunately. So I wanted to challenge you with this quote. I read somewhere that they have money for war, but not for feeding unprivileged. What do you think people and groups can do to make sure resources are shared fairly, with a focus on helping the most vulnerable instead of spending on weapons and conflicts?
I mean, it's a tough question. I think we've been always trying to avoid getting too much into politics with our project and try to actually show beauty to inspire. I think that's a big angle of what we do, because it's very hard to blame people for doing the wrong thing. Like, for example, there is a lot of moments where we think, what is doing the government? Why are those people not being taken care of? Why it has to be done by private people like us, etc. But I think this is the wrong approach. I think for me, it's like we are all responsible. Each one of us can do something, and it doesn't have to be a huge thing. It's like already taking a responsibility, and then once this is done, I know that after all of the governments and all of the official people will come with us. It's just part of the thing. So yeah, for me, it's really about taking responsibility and coming together, and I think we are now in a new period in time where we have more and more possibility to do that, right? We have more and more possibility to create our own ideas and to get them seen. So we should really use those tools and just not wait for people that are supposed to take care of all of this to do that. Because at the end of the day, I think it's all of us should be responsible for that. Does that make sense?
So true.
And looking ahead, what are your deepest hopes and aspirations for Plastic Angels in terms of expanding its reach and touching more lives in Suwung and even beyond? And can you walk us through a quarterly timeline of the initiatives and milestones you have planned for your organization?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think, of course, we should always project and see, okay, what's the why on the long run, although we are focusing on the short term now. So everything we do is a proof of concept. So we are doing, like I said, we focus on small things, and once they worked, we go a little bit bigger, and once it's worked somewhere, we will try to replicate. So we are doing this community, but it's not the only poor community in Bali. And this, of course, far from being the only poor community in the rest of Asia and the world. So we hope to do, like, for example, we are implementing, like I mentioned before, a community center. And this is a word that is maybe a bit vague, but we are implementing in there several actions that I think are going to be very, very possible to replicate in other communities in Bali as a start, right? So that means creating a space where children will have the opportunity to learn things that have value. For example, we are going to do a garden where they will learn to grow their own food. But we are not just planting seeds, although I like the metaphor. We are also bringing them technology. We're going to use of course, modern permaculture. We're going to use hydroponics. We're going to create mushroom farms. We're going to use biogas. We are going to use all of those technology there just to get them to know something, but also like always a very good narrative, a very good story to get more attention. So I'm always thinking, okay, how do we get awareness? So yeah, I think, we have a pretty clear idea of what we want to do with those children in particular, which is like I mentioned before. First, we're going to make sure they don't pick trash. Second, that they eat and they are healthy. Then that they get access to education. And after, we want to make sure that this is going to be like taken care of until they're 18, right? Because they're about 10 to 12 years old right now. But then we have also like vision with the gardens, every milestone that we are doing, what we're incorporating, the technology we're incorporating are all like at different levels. And this is all proof of concepts that we hope to replicate after to different communities in Bali and hopefully to also other places in the world.
Mickaël, as far as I understand, right now it's purely philanthropic, right? Do you have an ambition to make it financially self-sustainable by selling arts and education, whatever other initiatives you have, or if it will stay purely philanthropic? So if so, what do you need? What's the bank account? How people can get involved and support with monetary resources or whatever help you need?
Yeah. So, I mean, right now we've been, raising funds enough to purchase a piece of land and start the building of our community center. We are building a beautiful little thing with bamboo and everything. So we have 100 kids. We have 100 kids to take care of. And we know we want to do more than just bring them meals every day. So we hope to be able to get enough funds to sustain that. But also, yeah, we want to create a little economy there. So, for example, we hope that some of the things we develop, we can sell. So, for example, the creation of these art pieces, I believe will be very, very successful. And we might see a few images of the mosaics, so you guys can see the potential of that. But I think this is something that could be very well seen in different establishments, in companies, in restaurants, in hotels, whatever. Of course, for establishments to purchase a piece of art like that is a testament that they care about plastic pollution and about poverty. So I think it's a very good thing to have that. And if anybody is interested in purchasing or knows anybody that would be interested to purchase some of the artworks, of course, that would be a very good start. We are also making a movie out of all of this because I'm also a movie maker, right? And I think also this is for me the vision that I have in the long run to actually inspire people all around the world. So the movie is going to like show the whole story from the very beginning. So that's from me discovering this community and because we've been doing that for 3 years already. So we've been filming for 3 years. So we would love to, of course, get help to produce the end of this movie and making it seen as largely as possible, because I think this is an important movie. The message in there, about this bunch of artists and those kids like really now all coming together and taking action is this is the world we live in. This is, of course, in Bali, but I think this is a very good symbol of what is happening all around the world, right? Where now we need to come together and we need to do things, and we can do it with lots of beauty and a lot of joy. So, yeah, we would love to get this story seen. And of course, anybody who can help actually with getting those technology, those projects in developing our cultural center is very welcome. So that's where we are, asking for funds or for help. So this is pretty much it for now, but this is also, I hope, the project that will develop into different things.
Can you also take small amounts? I don't know, like $10, $5? Is it possible? Do you have a link on your website or where people can donate?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we are doing like donations for the food programs. So, for example, I think $10 can feed a kid for a week. So we have all of those programs. I think what's interesting is because we have names on those kids, we have pictures on those kids. We are always thinking about having almost a foster programs where people could just like yeah, I'll donate this amount of money, and then you know exactly what's been done with it, because we will, post content about what we're building and how the kids have been impacted with everything. So yeah, we have lots of different levels for people who want to donate or want to sponsor other children, for sure.
And according to you, what is the art of giving? So what message or advice would you offer to aspiring entrepreneurs and philanthropists looking to make a meaningful impact, inspired by your journey with the Plastic Angels?
I think it's like, it's a good question, but it's a difficult one, because this call for me was a very personal call, right? I just like, it's almost a spiritual thing that happened to me. So it's very hard for me to project that on other people. But I would say it's really about trying to reconnect with yourself and your deeper purpose, which is something we get a lot. So to do that, you really have to I think a lot of people have actually done it more because of COVID, right? Because they've been starting to reflect a bit more on themselves. But I think we are now at a period in time where it's very important to all do that. So reconnect and just like try to see, okay, that's what I make today makes sense. Is it really what I'm supposed to do? Is it really something that's like make me feel proud? I mean, if I die tomorrow, will I be proud? There is always this thing where if you question all people are like about to die, and many of them, the first thing they say they regret is that they didn't have meaningful life. They didn't do something for others. They didn't give to others. I mean, even starting with their own families. So it's really about reconnecting, and the art of giving is really that. It's just like realizing that we are all designed to help one another. And that's funny, because very often people come with us to the community, and for the first time they actually do something giving, and they are like, emotionally, they're like, great, because they realize, my God, this is so
I can
beautiful.
give. I have a heart. No, I can love and give love. My God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And you know what I love? And I give you one of the last metaphor that I'll make for you is like this. That's why soul is so powerful. This is a mountain of trash. And this is a pile of trash that I think is the metaphor of where all of our very essential values has been, lost. We are under a big pile of trash, and we have to clean it up to find all of the nature, the beautiful things that are inside us. And one of them is really, it's about giving. It's about giving, helping one another. We have been conditioned to be like so individualistic, so competition, so like, I have to make it, I have to be the richest, I have to have the big car. This is all wrong. And I mean, I know you know that already, but I think so many people don't see it enough. So it's so important that we get clean of all of this trash and we start to give.
I love that. It's a very nice metaphor, actually. So to everyone who is watching us, please find the true values in your trash. A lot of wrong things which were imposed by society, family, school, university. It's not your values. You need to find your own ones inside your heart.
And for our viewers who feel moved by your work, how can they connect with Plastic Angels and contribute to this beautiful journey of hope and transformation?
Yeah, I mean, the best is, of course, to connect to the website, plasticangels.org. We have Instagram. It's a good way. You can message us directly there. Plastic Angels Bali. You can find us on Instagram. And, if some of you guys are in Bali, you can come to the cultural center. You can meet the kids. You can cook with us. We're going to all together. We're going to create art all together. That's the idea. It's a cultural center. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to have barbecues on Sundays there, and with the trash mountain in the background. It's going to be a bit surreal, but it's going to be beautiful.
So we know what to do next time we go to Bali.
Next time in Bali, yes, we will be there. So lastly, the time is flying. Can you share a call to action for global audience, inviting them to join hands against poverty and pollution, or whatever it is in your heart right now?
Yeah. So, like I said, just let's try to reconnect with our deeper purpose and try to really see that that's what we're all designed for, and it's been just buried under a big pile of trash, right? So reconnect with that, realize that it's so important to actually help one another. I wouldn't say even give, because give is not the right word. It's like we have to help one another. We have to elevate one another. That's the only way to go up. We cannot do that alone. That doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So I would just really call to action on the general way like this. And also, if you want to actually contribute to our effort as Plastic Angels, please connect to the website. If you're in Bali, send us a message, join us, come with us, picking trash on the beach. We create artworks on the beach with the artists. Then we all go to the cultural center. We do stuff with the thieves, and we're going to build a lot of beautiful things together. And we're going to tell this story to the rest of the world. We're going to show it to the rest of the world. And hopefully we're going to inspire for this change that the world desperately needs.
Amazing. And, Mickaël, you are not from Bali. Still you care, right? So everyone in the world, wherever you are, maybe it's your calling, and we are all interconnected. We are all one with the nature as a people. So let's find the divine purpose inside of us. Thanks, Mickaël, for joining us today.
Thank you, Mickaël.
Thank you for having me and allowing me to share that with the world.
Dear audience, with this, it was like 1 minute, the show, no? Wasn't it?
It
was so fast today. So we are looking forward to bringing another inspiring guest who does something, really does something with the means he or she has on this planet. Beautiful planet, Bali. We have so many amazing places. So let's not mess it up. Let's take care of it. Let's take care of all the people on it. And then maybe we'll be happy, no?
Exactly.
Okay, see you guys. Bye for now.
Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey today.
We hope this incredible story has ignited something in you. Don't miss out on what's coming next. Subscribe to our channel and stay tuned.
Feeling inspired to support our guests or be featured on our next show? Get in touch with us at apply@iisolutions.ch.
Let's stay connected. Find us on TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, or any other social media platform you love.
We are super excited to share our upcoming episodes with you.
See you soon.